Good evening. How are you? I can hear you. How are you? You're feeling good? Well, when I saw some of you back there, I said, make sure you scream for me. Are you here? Can I hear you? Yes, thank you. So today is my birthday. Yes. And this is a very great gift for me to come and speak with you. It is an honor, actually. I received an invitation a few months back, and I saw the date. I said, that's my birthday. So this is very nice to be here. My name is Ha-Anh. I'm called Ha-Anh Vu through my journey of being a model in the UK, in Europe, and coming back here. I was born and raised in Hanoi, Vietnam. And when I was 18 years old, I went to United Kingdom I went to boarding school, university, and then I started pursuing my career as a model in London. Then I came back to Vietnam in 2009 and pursued being a model, TV shows. Have you heard of Next Top Model? Yes, I used to host and judge a Next Top Model. So you think you can dance? Have you heard of it? I used to judge these shows. Miss Universe, Miss World. I judge and mentor these beautiful ladies and gentlemen further their career. And so it is actually very nice for me, and I try my best to go to schools, university, to have talks and meet you guys like outside so that I can have inspiration, because I feel like it is very important for me to give back. So all through my career, I used to be a very awkward girl when I went to high school, actually. When I talk about how I get this confident, I talk about the power of confidence. It's not easy to be confident of all the time. It is not, because actually, even walking out here, it's like, where's everybody? I can't see everybody. And I asked the people at the back, how are you feeling? Everyone said, oh, I'm actually quite scared. And for me, of course, I don't speak in my first language, so it is challenging for me. So confident, not always. And I mentioned here the physical attributes, and people said, oh, it's so easy for you to be confident because you are beautiful. But actually, I don't feel that way. And when I was in school, like your age, actually, in high school, I was tall, I was awkward, I didn't feel beautiful, I was bullied all the time for being different, for being super, super tall and skinny and dressed differently. I felt pretty bad about myself. I didn't feel it. So the physical attribute at first didn't come to mind, that, being appreciative of who I am, of my height, of my beings. Now I am. Through the career of being models and everything, being in pictures, people would think that I'm very confident. But actually, I'm quite an introvert person. I actually am. I don't like speaking too much in crowd and getting to know too many people. But how you can be confident, I think it is a collective of things. You have to be out there and collect all of this moment. Push your boundaries a little bit of a time. So, when I was 21 years old, I decided that's it. I can't be this shy girl anymore, being in my shell. Don't speak to people, don't want to go to events, don't want to talk to people. I said, that this is it, like, I'm going to try. So I went to small event led by the students in the UK. Just not like this, because this is a proper speech. But I talk to people, I say, hi, how are you? I get to know some of the people, and I came back home, I thought, this is not so bad. It's actually nice, because I made a friend today. So bit by bit, through this experience, I started to be more confident in making decisions to step outside of my comfort zone and be more confident speaking with other people. So all through my career, I'm sure you recognize I was hosting footballer David Beckham. You know him? Yeah? All right. So I was hosting events in a big audience, and I was talking to David. And actually, it was interesting because people would think he was a big superstar, right? Everyone loved him for his talents and his look and his ability in football. But I spoke to him at this time. My daughter Mila, who's sitting right there, she was about 5 months old. So the most common thing, I would speak to David. I said, David, so how did you do as parents? How do you balance your professional work? Now you're in every country, and then you become this super famous brand. How do you balance it with your family life? How you and your wife, Victoria, how do you do with your family and with your kids? So but at that time, I was a new mother. I was very interested, and I really wanted to know. So he shares his stories with me, just like couples or parents, new parents would do. He said, I'm very busy. We are very busy, but we want our kids to know that we are working parents, so they can look at us and feel proud of who we are. But every time that we're home, we make sure we drive them to school, we make sure that we do everything with them. So from that standpoint, I just want you to know that to be confident is understanding that everyone on this universe can relate to each other and that we are the same. So you may look at me and you might think, oh, I wonder, maybe I don't go and speak to her because I'm nervous. But I might be nervous too. I might be nervous coming to speak to you. But if you push that click and go, you know what, let's forget about our fear. Let's just say, hi, how are you? You will say back, hi, how are you? And that's how conversation goes. And that's how you step a bit of a time out of your comfort zone. And then you just realize that everybody is lovely. We can share so many nice stories together. And that worries that you will be troubling other people, or you say the wrong thing, it's nonsense. So as long as you connect with each other on a very simple level and talk about everything other people would in everyday life, you may find more similarities and more things to talk about that you can't imagine. So just a quick thing about the network who I met with is on the screen. I don't need to talk about it, but saying that the confidence that I need to build for myself is a constant work. It's not I go to this event, this is my value, this is my worth. I think the most important thing is the foundation that is from my family. It is true. When you're sitting here and you think about who you are as a person, I had to ask myself this question many times because I came from Hanoi. My grandparents, they are writers. They're very traditional. They're very well-known, actually, very well-known writers in Vietnam. My father is a filmmaker. He made King Kong, The Quiet American, with a crew coming from US and France. And my mom actually a journalist, so I had to find my way. I said, do I want to become a journalist? Do I want to become a filmmaker? And I decided not to. And then I went to England and I did business, not knowing that I would go into modeling and pursuing any art form, but I ended up doing that. So it's like this whole thing about traveling away to ask yourself who you are, what identity of yourself in this world is very important, that relates back to your family. And I always remember my grandmother said this to me before I left for England. She said, Ha-Anh, listen to me. People love you because you are a very kind-hearted girl. Never forget that. Whenever you go, whichever country in the world, just remember the world is your oyster. Wherever you are in the world that people love you, you can make a good living, you can be helpful, useful to the society, that can be your home. But never forget being kind. That's who you are, and that's how we want to instill these values in you. So every time that I'm down, and every time I doubt myself, I think about my family. I think about what they hope and what they believe and what they rooted for me, and they are my greatest strength. And that reminds me of the kindness of who I am and why I am in this world doing what I do. So, of course, why being confident is useful, powerful, of course, because you can make friends, you can have new contacts in your future career, you can walk in any room and be noticed, you can make an impact on other people. But I think, I personally want to put this across. I think the most important thing about being confident and how it becomes so powerful is that you are able to be happy for other people's happy, cheer for other people's success. That is very important because I feel like, of course, in my job also, because they always try to create rivals, right? Who's more beautiful, who is more seen. So I'm in this world, but I always have to remember that people around me, even if they earn more money, if they have nice new car, or they have like nice family, it's important to learn that you have confidence in yourself, in your own happiness, in your worth, that you can be happy for other people. I think that is the most powerful thing. So how can you cultivate confidence? When I do private class with my students, people always come to me and say, I'm a very introvert person. I find it very difficult to make contact with people, talk to people. I always say to them, just be brave and push yourself out of your boundary just a little bit of time. So the people at the moment I'm coaching, they are business people, middle management to CEO, right? So they're very successful, they earn a lot of money, they have status, they have lots of people that answer to them. But they go to big public event, they still get nervous. They don't know what to talk to people about, or maybe sometimes it's the barriers of language that makes them feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. But it is important when you go into a crowd, wherever that is, you have that high, like good energy, you go and say, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Ha-Anh. That is a very great way to introduce your existence. So, of course, it can be cultivated. And I will tell you very simple. First of all, I talk about physical appearance. It's not about being the most beautiful person. It's about working out. It's about feeling good in yourself. You can do this with grooming. You can dress nicely. You can present yourself in a very presentable way, so that can boost your confidence. So you can go to school, to events, to any place, and you can say hi. And people said, how do I do a confident walk? So it's very important. I will show you. If you walk to a place, you take a deep breath, and then you walk with energy. Hi, very nice to meet you. And when I say that, you can feel that I'm very happy to be here. If I say, I'm very happy to be here, you know it's genuine because I speak from my heart. I'm genuinely happy to be here. So when you project that energy to people with your posture, the way that all of that things that I talk about, your core values, your family, your knowledge, your career, everything you accumulated to that point, and you're happy to project that confidence, that happiness to people, of course, you'll be more confident talking to people. The more you have hobbies, you travel, you have more things to talk about. You can say, so do you do this sport? What do you listen to as in music? Or what do you do in the weekend? Many things that we can talk together, finding similarity, that can give you more confidence and you know more about stuff. You don't have to know everything, actually. I know very little about art, for example. But if I speak with art lovers, I can ask questions, I can listen. You don't always need to stand out of the crowd by being confident, by saying everything, by blah, 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 like Miss Know-It-All. If you don't, listen. Like, I really want to hear your story. So how are you? How did you get here? all of this curiosity, this interest, this genuine kind and niceness makes people want to get to know you. I talk about strengthen your core value, and this is very important, but maybe in high school you haven't thought about it yet. But the more you will go out there, like you will go to university in different country, and you meet people with many different background, many different belief, there will be time where you want to fit in. And when you are at your age, it's very important to fit in, and you do many things to fit in. But I always find being Ha-Anh Vu, even when I was in London, I was being in modeling, and as an Asian person, Vietnamese person, it was a pressure of having an English name, right? So people would say, so what do you think? Like, it's easier to call myself Hana, for example. But I thought, no, actually, I'm going to go by the name Ha-Anh. It's difficult at first, but once people get to know it, people will know it, people remember it. So for me, it's very important for me to keep my identity of knowing, embracing, and own my differences, embrace it, and be part of the rest of the world. So when I speak to people from many different backgrounds, they all have grandparents, they all have different experience that I can relate to. I know it's quite, like at this time, you may not think about this yet, but when it comes, when you travel from Vietnam or you go to different worlds, and you wonder how you can fit in, remember to also be proud of your core value, your family, where you're from, your culture, your little things that makes you very special and that will make you stand out. I talk about learning the soft skill because confidence can't be learned. So you go to different activities. For example, today, I know some of the students will do the talk as well. So it is very difficult, but every time you come up and you present yourself with this kind of challenge, it's a time that you can practice it. So I remember when I was young and I performed in school, right? The first time I was trying to sing, I can feel my leg was like this. I was so nervous singing the first time in front of everybody. And the second time, it's a little bit better. You push yourself to do another time. So through time, I'm so happy. I have great respect. And I said to everyone back there, I said, by the time you're my age, imagine, right? I never had the opportunity to practice public speaking like this before when I was younger. But if, look at you now, you will flourish. So that actually is an amazing example to how you can boost your confidence, is to put yourself in things maybe you're not 100% comfortable with within your range, but do it anyway. Because you learn something, you have fun, you meet new people, there's always be a plus. Okay, so this is important. You will talk about now, I heard people talk about social media. A lot of us will think being popular in social media is actually validate us. This is what we're worth, like how many likes that you have. So today I post like a happy birthday. I have like 300 people comments on it, and you do feel good because people send you this happy birthday, people remember about you, thinking about you. But sometimes I express myself in ways and I don't get a lot of likes. So now I'm comfortable. I thought, so what? This is only a channel for me to communicate with people professionally. I don't always have to be liked. And the pressure from social media is huge. And okay, so let me be honest with you. I have a love and hate relationship with social media. It helps me to reach to my fans. It boosts my confidence if people saying when I do the right things. But I also came across this other side of social media. People can go on it and say very horrible, nasty things about you. Now, I'm over 40 years old. Pretty successful in my career. I know who I am, my values, my worth. Yet, having all of these people coming at you, slandering untrue things about you, documented your images, trying to make you feel worthless of yourself, it is very difficult. I spent the last 2 years dealing with it. It is difficult because, like I said before, it is not easy to always feel confident. It is not, because sometimes people just say things that you can't imagine. How can people be so cruel? How can people say such a thing? How can people make up such things? But it is very important for me to stand in front of you now, because I know social media is a very big part in every one of your life. It is just the time, just the age for it. So, and even for me, it is important. And I don't doubt that, but I just want you to remember that negative comments or trolls on the internet does not represent who you are. It's not what you're worth. And this is why I want to bring back again. It's very important through these lights, how I can get through this time I can call traumatic time, is because I have my family with me. So when I see the laughter, innocent laughter of my son and my daughter, I know they are real, they are pure, right? When I hear my husband supporting me, I know it's real. My family rallied alongside of me, reminding me of very simple, true happiness that is real. Then I remember my craft. Everyone has their worth of doing something. Then I started to go out, coaching people, talk to them, and the energy, the positive energy that I get back from them. So, for example, if today I help you to learn certain skill, to be confident, to speak in front of people, and the love that I get back from you, your curiosity, the values I can regenerate, reminds me of what I'm worth and who I am. So that's why it's very important, like I said, confidence is cultivated. It can be up and down, but the moment you have your very true core values, that is your family, what you love, who are the most people that are important to you, and understand and embrace and love this very real life. The ground that we are standing on, it's real, right? That is a plus. It's another world, but we don't have to rely so much on it. So the most important things for me, the confidence can become from here, from your heart, from truly doing the good work without needing to have appraisal from people. So in my time, I was a former ambassador for UNICEF, worked closely with children. I worked with Operation Smile. I worked with Christina Noble. I worked with victims of Agent Orange victims, with children in children's hospital. I did a lot of these things because I just feel as a young person, I wanted to help spread joy and help people in vulnerability situation. But most of all, it doesn't have to be big. It can just be open the door. If you see a very nice cleaner lady, just say hi. It makes her day better. Be kind. Say hello to the driver. Say thank you. Be polite to your friends. Help your friends. If they're upset, lift them up. It's very important because remember, today you do it for your friend. Tomorrow, someone can do something to help your parents, your sister, or even you. So it's very important to spread this kindness and this love that will eventually, I hope, that will bring up each other's and everyone's confidence. And just, when I was young, I have this dream. I said to my grandmother said, Ha-Anh, what do you want to do when you grow up? I said, I don't know. I didn't know I have a job. I was very dreamy. very dreamy girl. I said, I just want to bring happiness to people wherever I go. That sounds very dreamy. But now I realize that we can have your worth doing our life, being happy in your life. But through our act of kindness, we can embrace people, we can inspire people, and we can gain more confidence knowing that we are kind and nice to one another. So I want to close this talk by saying, and this is my only message, of the power of confidence for me is being able to raise each other up so they are with you. So you can be happy for each other, we can be sharing a life very beautiful, positive together, and yeah, that's how you go through life, hopefully with more joy, more happiness. Thank you.